Now, I know some people might see this video as a negative for VR, and I'm so sorry if you do. I have put 8 years or so into supporting virtual reality, and I know I've given myself the job of reviewing games, which means I can't just make gameplay and be positive about them. And I want to say that the majority of games that I play over the years have been good. But I want to give you an example of a regular day in my life as someone who is one, helping make a game. Two, I've been doing playtesting for like 2, 3 years. I don't know how many games I've played in VR. It's got to be over 1,000 actually. I've done over 2,000 videos, I think, on this channel. And today I've played 3 games. And I'm not going to name any of them because technically everything I played isn't released yet, but it's close. Well, 2 of them are close. And I just wanted to share this because I think sometimes people who see some videos and not some others might think, oh, this guy's overly positive, which is quite rare for people to say about me. But then some other guys just say I'm overly negative. And I think there's a thing here where not everyone feels the same about every game. I've definitely played a game and thought the game wasn't very good. For example, the Midnight Walk. Now, when I say it wasn't very good, it wasn't necessarily from a technical standpoint, and that was before they did the patch to fix the frame rate in PSVR 2 that then also broke the game, which I never updated. The game just didn't land with me. Like, I really enjoyed the gameplay, but a lot of that game was about the story, and the story just didn't land. So, in my review, I said, I think it's a good game. The story didn't really land with me, and I didn't get anything from it. You know, that's what I said. And some people were like, oh, there he is being Mr. Negative. But today I've played 1 game where my hands constantly disappeared. Not a big deal. It's going to get fixed. The second game I played, got right to the end of doing this thing after about an hour and couldn't finish it because there was an issue. And then the third game that I got into, which I was quite excited about, had so many problems, and it wasn't even necessarily graphical problems. It was just this is nothing to do with content creator tools either, because there's a whole other side of this that as a content creator you would like things done about, but they're not things that necessarily matter to you if you're buying a game. So I'm not going to talk about those, but things like just randomly smooth turning not working. And let's talk about the fact that some games don't even have smooth turning as an option. Still today, I can't remember the game. It's probably only about a month ago I played a game and there was no smooth turning. And I was like, how is this possible? How is this happening? What was that game? Little Nightmares VR. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow. 2026, no smooth turning. I'm pretty sure it is that one. The grabbing was awful. So like when you grabbed anything in this game, you kind of froze. Like you can't move the camera anymore. You're kind of stuck. So that was a bit annoying. The game has an automatic crouch. So what this meant was, though, for people, and this is part of my testing, if you played seated, then if you drop anything, you therefore cannot pick it up. And I'm just like, okay, why is it like this? What's going on? Yeah, and just there is other things. But what I wanted to talk about today mainly, and if you can handle this weird disjointed talk, is I feel in my heart and my head, I'm like, why is no one learning? Why is nothing changing? Why is nothing improving? And it sounds terrible because I haven't made a game, right? I've only helped make games. I'm not a developer. So I don't know the stresses they're under. And I'm really sorry for the stresses you guys must face and the hardships, especially if you love VR. Because I'm sure every VR game comes from a place of passion, right? There's not many games that I would say are a cash grab. There's been a few, but I mean, 99% of them are made with intentions of bringing in something possibly unique and, you know, sharing someone's vision to make a VR game. But unfortunately, over the years, I think I'm just getting a bit tired. Like, I'm getting a bit tired of bad performing games on Quest, games that are missing obvious options, just things that feel so very normal, should be normal now. They should just be normal and they should be in every game. And what I'm worried about is because when I make a video, right, a new VR games video, the one I did for the games coming in May, 20,000 views, I think it is. So there's 20,000 people who are still interested in new VR games, at least from my channel for the month of May. But in every one of those videos I make, there is plenty of people saying, I've got a VR headset, but I don't play it. and I haven't played it for a long time, and there's nothing here that makes me want to pick up a VR headset. Now, I would argue that because I think there's at least 2 or 3 games in this month, and I'm playing one right now, and it's brilliant, that does make it worth picking up a VR headset. Because for me to play a game on a flat screen, and I know some of you got a bit annoyed when I did the Replaced video, which is a flat screen game, but it's got everything I love about gaming. It's got an amazing presentation about it. It's a mixture of retro graphics and art design. I love it, and the game was brilliant, and I wanted to make a review on it. And there's just not many games I would do that for. You know, they've got to be pretty special. So in a way, if I'm making a video about a game, it's either massive, like Doom Eternal. I'm trying to get hold of First Light from IOI because that's a game I'm interested in. So I'll probably make a review for that if I get a review copy. But normally, obviously, everything I do is VR. So for me to want to make a video and play a game on a flat screen, it's got to be really good. Like, it's got to be something quite special, because VR is that good that it's very rare that I get the same immersion and feelings from a flat screen game as I do in VR. And that's why I love this medium or this technology so much, is that in my head, VR has given me some of the greatest gaming moments ever and in my life. And it all started back on PSVR. Fantastic games on PCVR, fantastic games on Quest. We've had some brilliant titles. And I know some people are still new to VR and they come along to my channel and they're like, what's this game? What's this game? Now, to me, chucking in a bit of footage of Saints and Sinners in a video, possibly for some reason, would be like, oh, everyone knows what this game is. And yet still today people ask. So I don't know if you watch my best VR games videos. I haven't done them for quite a while, but they still stand because there really isn't much movement in general at the moment in VR, unfortunately. But 2 reasons I wanted to say what I'm saying today is because at the moment there is a shift in gaming for indie devs, right? People are loving picking up games that don't cost $60, $70 or 60, 70 pounds and finding real gems for like $20, $10 made by indies because the gameplay loop is fantastic. It's not necessarily all about graphics. And I think that can be said for VR as well. We're all looking for a really good game. But my problem is with VR, there's another level of friction that developers have to face that maybe flat screen developers don't. And that is the amount of options they need to add and how a game even feels to move. I'm sure just making a game with a keyboard and mouse in mind or a controller is a lot more simple, or is definitely more simple than bringing someone into a game and giving them the correct movement and make them feel like they're part of the world. People don't just want hands, people want arms, or people do just want hands. People are stuck in wheelchairs, getting height adjustment right, making your arms bend correctly at the elbow, or just there's just so much stuff. You know, like when you crouch, your knees don't hit you in the face. There's just so much that developers have to take on board to make a VR game, and I truly appreciate it. I do. But at the moment, what I worry about is, with all the comments I get, is how some people are like, VR gaming's not evolving. And when I play certain games, I actually understand what they're saying. Normally I dismiss it. I'm like, dude, you're either a hater or you're enjoying other things, you know, like VR's not for you necessarily, but I kind of am. I'm kind of seeing what they're saying. And this is why I worry about people having faith in VR, new VR games. You know, these developers making great trailers, but the end product ends up being quite far away from what you're shown. And that's why I worry about it. I worry that people having faith in games, you know, in VR games, I'm feeling burnt by it. I'm feeling a bit burnt by it. I'm not burnt out. I'm burnt by the feeling of being hyped for a game, and then when it comes out, I feel let down. And I don't know. Today, I think I was having a great day. I felt really positive. And by the end of today, and I've been in a headset for 7 hours of today, I came away like I feel tired. I feel exhausted. That I've done lots of different things, and I've produced nothing really. And I imagine when you guys buy games, and that's the thing, I haven't bought a VR game for a long time. Hands up, I haven't bought a VR game for a long time. I get review keys, but I always remember the sting. Yeah, the sting of buying a game, especially on PlayStation, because it's hard to get your money back, where you're like, well, this isn't what I wanted. This is not what I thought it was going to be as it was advertised. and then you play it and you're like, whatever. And I feel in VR, that happens even more. Before you even get to experience the game, you just might even have struggles with the options. Just being able to move, just feeling comfortable with the movement, just feeling like trying to get past the first 2 stages or 2 levels just to get into the game to figure out what the hell it's about. There's just this, I don't know. I don't even know if I'm going to post this. Today was just one of those days where it kind of all, I don't know, just came together and I'm like, bro, what is going on? Why in 2026 am I still coming across the same problems in VR gaming? I understand developers don't necessarily watch YouTube videos and they definitely probably don't play lots and lots of VR games. Someone needs to step in and do something because we can't carry on like that. We can't carry on with, for example, and I don't mean to pick on the boys. The boys, I think, had a lot of good going for it. Great voice acting. They really lean into the universe pretty well. But before I talk about and I have obviously made a review on it, before I talk about the shortcomings of the game itself, the performance alone is something that they might have updated now. They probably have. Unfortunately, me and many others who played it in the first week probably experienced what I experienced, which was bad frame rates. In VR, that is hard to get by, you know, or get through, push through, to accept. It's hard. It can be hard, you know, like if your game doesn't necessarily play well, at least it might run well. And then you got some games like that run really well, but just play like arse. And it's, I don't know, dude. I don't know. And I just thought, if I feel like this, does anyone else feel like this? And I know some people do, but I just want you to know that realistically, I feel it. Like I do, I feel the frustration sometimes, you know, that's it. I just wanted you to know that I feel it. I feel the frustration where you want a game to be really good on day one and it rarely is. You know, you got to wait for patches and stuff. And fair play to everyone who hangs in there. You know, like you buy a game and you're like, I want this game to be good for the developers. I want them to succeed. So I'm going to hang around, tweet them, comment, let them know my thoughts, and just hope that an update happens. And as far as I can tell, a lot of updates do happen. Developers do watch this stuff. We're very lucky in VR to have such a small, tight community that if there is something wrong, probably pretty hard for a developer not to know about it. But still, it would be nice to have less early access releases, or at least don't use early access as a reason to test the fundamentals of the game. Early access should be for like, this is like a portion of the game, or you know, this is some ideas we're trying, but it shouldn't be about poor performance and the inability to just enjoy the game as it is, to even get to experience what these developers are trying to show you. This is early access. This is you're going to pay less to experience this game as it is now, and we're going to add more to it. But at the moment, early access is tied to like not much changes. You know, not the quality bar should still be at a reasonable level to be an early access title. And that's where I think I'm struggling, is quality, is VR quality. And I think that's what needs to change. But yeah, there it is. I'm going to take a look through this, see if I can make something out of it. But if I don't, it feels better to get it off my chest. But if I do, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Stay tuned, because there is something really cool coming this week. And I'll see you on the next one.